the paranormal to the extraordinary, from the weird to the wonderful. This is On the Odd.
My name is Mark, and I am talking with Alex tonight. How are you, Alex?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. One thing that we always talked about, that's you sending me a message on the Facebook.
It's the little chime. That's how we communicate. We're like
Exactly.
two teenage girls.
And I'm giggling like a teenage girl. So
actually, if we were really hip, we'd be using something like Snapchat.
Yeah, Snapchat or... Oh, I don't even know the name of it. I forgot the name. There's one like major one.
Not Instagram.
No, not Instagram.
WhatsApp.
The one with
the short movie clips.
The WhatsApp. Oh, Vine?
Maybe, yeah.
So, one thing that's right around the corner is Thanksgiving.
Right.
Now, this episode...
And Hanukkah and all those holidays.
Yeah, so Thanksgiving isn't... This episode will come out after Thanksgiving, unfortunately. So it's not too timely, but it doesn't change the fact that, you and I were talking about what's your favorite drink this time of the year? And what about you? What's something that you'll have as, I guess, an alcoholic beverage?
It's funny you kind of asked that because, like, in the summer, I'll maybe have some beer or gin and tonics are okay. I also
what kind of... Wait. Now, these are very loaded answers. What kind of beer? What kind of gin?
Okay. So that's a good question. The beers I generally like are very flavorful beers.
Okay.
I like
Magic Hat No. 9?
Yeah, stuff like that. That's an IPA. I'm not sure.
What's IPA?
I'm asking if it's an IPA.
I don't know what an IPA is.
It's just it's like a common beer, and I don't know enough about it to get into it, but I also like some Pilsners, and there's a good beer brand named Dale's Ale, and there's also one which I like a lot, and that one is, let's see, Ballast Point. Have you heard of these beers?
No.
There are a million beers now out there. There's so many small microbreweries that there must be... No, literally, seriously. Like, if you go to the Whole Foods beer store in the city, there must be 300 different beers.
Believe it or not, we have Whole Foods here on Long Island, too. So, screw you.
Really? I didn't know you had any kind of culture or any kind of stuff like that on Long Island.
Next week, we're getting color TV.
Okay. No. I wouldn't call Whole Foods culture. I'd call it, I don't know. Whole Foods is pretty good because they weed out a lot of stuff that I don't want. And I also like some of the Whole Foods brands of stuff. But other things, I don't know.
We have pretty good beer distributors where they carry a large amount of different beers.
Well, what kind of beers do you like? What are some of the ones that you...
Well, I used to like... My friend Jerry and I used to have this obsession. It was almost a fetish with dark beers. And, of course you have,
Guinness?
What is that? Yeah, like Guinness and the different stouts and there's oat wheat beers and all types of Bocks. I don't know if you've ever had Bocks. One time I had a thing called a triple Bock, which was like gravy. It was so thick. But it was good. It was like it had like a taste of chocolate almost. It's a very interesting tasting beer. But I like Magic Hat No. 9. I'm not the biggest fan of beer anymore. But Magic Hat No. 9 I really like. I think it's a good simple beer. I'm
the
simple.
common one.
Yeah, I mean, I cook with beer more than anything.
Yeah.
I'll make bratwurst with maybe Rolling Rock.
Okay. I just wanted to, that's interesting, but I wanted to go back and define IPA, which is India Pale Ale.
Oh, okay. That I know of.
Yeah. It's an ale.
Yeah, it's a better one.
A lot of people like them.
But
you were talking about stouts, and I also like lagers and ales.
But what about wine?
Okay. So wine, I was just saying, red wine, I don't like drinking red wine without anything with it. I like to have that with food. When I do drink red wines, of course it really just depends on the wine. I've been getting kind of into Malbecs, and Cabernet Sauvignons are a little, I don't know if the word is acidic, but they're a little strong for me.
Maybe they're high in tannins.
Yes, I think that's what it is. But I've had good ones that were really nice, and Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
They're kind of nice too when they're good. But I'm really no expert with wine, so I also like some whites, and my stomach for some reason takes to sparkling, whites, like you know what I'm talking
like a girl,
not champagne.
I'm just kidding, like a girl.
Right. What's the exactly? I want my sparkling.
I have a little birdie tummy.
I know. But what's the white? Not champagne, but the equivalent.
Chardonnay?
No, Bruschetto.
I'm not sure.
Bruschetto.
Blonde.
See, this just goes to show how little I know and how terrible I'm gonna come across.
Oh no, I'm pretty bad too. I mean, like if I want a glass of red wine, I'll very often just order a house glass of red wine.
So what do you generally like though with wine?
Well, I don't drink wine too often, but when I do, it's this time of the year, as I was saying. And one of the reasons is because Beaujolais Nouveau comes out on the third third Thursday of November, and it's a French wine, and it's a fantastic red wine. I do recommend you go to get it. It's a relatively cheap in cost wine, but it's a tasty wine. And over in France, I mean, maybe not these days, but they drink it like water. They're just guzzling it because it's super, super cheap.
That's great.
But I like it,
I have to try it. And can we include it in the show notes? If you could find a link and send it to me.
No, the other day, I just wanted to mention this. Somebody was talking about genuinely vegetarian wines.
Yeah.
And, I remember a long time ago people were saying, well, there's sometimes, there's animal products and everything in wine. That really blew me away. This person said that there are some wines to add to a clarity of it, they actually add bone into it.
Oh, whoa.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's nuts, right?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of bone are we talking about?
I'm assuming... It's
gotta be like cow bone?
Right, like cow bone or horse bone, maybe.
Yeah. I have to say something. While we're on the subject of wines, I want to give a shout out to David Lawler and his boxed Merlots, because that's become something of a staple whenever I go to his house.
Yeah?
Yep, that's what he loves.
It's funny. I always say, there's no Thanksgiving without a box of wine in the fridge.
They're actually good, too. The times I've had it, really pleasant tasting wine.
No, it's funny.
I don't think there's bone in there.
It's funny that you say that, just because you think box wine, immediately it's like, you're in a trailer,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's supposedly fantastic wines can be produced and delivered in this bag system.
It's
Same
true.
thing with screw tops.
Absolutely true. I once went to a restaurant with these men who had very kind of refined taste in wine, and they were appalled at the fact that the wine they ordered had a screw off top. But then when they drank it, this is probably 2 years ago, I remember the one man was very pleasantly surprised and almost taken aback that it was a good wine. So I don't think these things really have too much of a factor.
Right.
boxed or screw top, as much as people like to think.
So I just found this pretty cool article to get onto the whole idea of odd. So these are some of the things that you can find in very often white wines.
Uh-oh.
Because it adds to the clarity. Gelatin, which is derived from bones, so I'm assuming that's what the person was talking about.
Okay.
Something called isinglass, which is derived from the air bladder of a sturgeon. Casein, which is protein derived from milk. Egg albumin, which is derived from egg whites. Bentonite, which is a clay-like material, but it is vegan friendly, but it's essentially dirt.
My gosh.
And this is banned in the US and in the EU, but it's still used in some Mediterranean countries. It's dried bull's blood powder, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So, do you want to start us off on a little list of strange ingredients?
Yes, I actually don't have in front of me right this second, but I remember one of them was there's shellac.
Yeah.
And candy. Did you know that?
I heard it, but I always thought it was kind of a rumor, to be honest.
Well, maybe it is a rumor. We don't know if this is true.
No, it's not. I mean...
But I love opening up a can of shellac and just, indulging once in a while.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I mean, it makes it look nice, so it's got to taste good, right?
Yeah. So that's one.
One of these really stands out when you read the back of dog food and stuff like that, and that's mechanically separated meat.
Oh.
I know if you read it, it will say mechanically separated chicken.
What does that mean exactly?
I'm not 100% sure what that means aside from it. According to this, it crushes the bits of bone and cartilage and turns it into essentially a smooth paste. But because of the risk of BSE, which is or mad cow disease, mechanically separated beef is no longer allowed in human food.
Okay, but that's interesting. Then how do they make like hot dogs?
That's actually what
that.
Well, mechanically separated beef is no longer allowed in human food. But you'll find hot dogs that are often made of chicken or pork. I'm assuming that beef hot dogs maybe are human separated, perhaps. Not 100% sure.
Okay, how about a little carbon monoxide?
That was strange. That's something I never heard of until I looked at this list. They actually inject carbon monoxide into the packaging of meats to prevent the color from turning brown.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Into the plastic wrap of the meats.
It's almost like it's choking the bacteria or the whatever it is that will oxidize the meat. That's bizarre. It's like you're killing what's on the meat.
Yeah, I never knew about this, and I guess it's okay. I guess, you shouldn't breathe in carbon monoxide, but
no.
I suppose it's okay. And then how about, this is an interesting one, viruses.
Just viruses.
Yeah, and I could elaborate. If you want, I could read it. It says manufacturers spray these on ready-to-eat meat and deli products that are sold in sealed plastic pouches. The bacteriophage products come in two types, one that combats E. coli and the other Listeria bacteria.
Oh.
And, they actually spray cattle with this, too. Interesting.
It is really gross.
Yeah, but... we're exposed to a lot of viruses airborne, so why not eat some viruses?
Yeah, I guess. Then there's ammonia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ammonia is... I kind of knew about this. It's another thing to kill the bacteria. They use ammonia to kill, as a kill step to deal with the bacteria during the processing of the trim, which is... which is prone to having more bacteria in it than normal. It became a controversial practice around 2001, and the resulting product, after it's already treated with the ammonia, is pink slime, which became like that big deal thing a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
I do remember something about it, but I forget exactly what it was.
Yeah, essentially the ammonia turns it into pink slime.
This is very appetizing.
Well, then there's bisphenol A.
And what is that exactly?
Bisphenol A is it's the same thing as BPA, which is one of these things that when it's in hard plastics, it can, I believe, it doesn't say it here, but I think it can give men breasts and all types of weird, strange things. There's a lot of, there's a link to brain behavior and prostate problems, especially in fetus and children. And essentially you'll find it can be problematic with acidic foods like tomatoes and...
Do you...
I'm looking here. It's used... It can still be found as the sealant in the lining of some cans.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of BPA-free is becoming something now that...
Yeah, but I don't see it in canned goods, do you?
I'm not sure, but I know that the lining of cans is something that a lot of people are calling to question. Have you ever heard... Do you know what silicon dioxide is, Mark?
I know what silicon is, but maybe not dioxide.
It's sand.
Oh, okay.
And it's found in food.
I've heard it was in Taco Bell.
For real?
Yeah, didn't they say that it gave a certain texture to the Taco Bell ground meat? And this was like a big deal a few years ago.
Well, they say it's used in a lot of things as a flow agent, and partly because it does a nice job of absorbing a little bit of atmospheric humidity that would cause clumping in a variety of things. So I don't know about texture, but...
Clumping.
Appetizing. You know, I don't mean to harp on Chipotle.
Oh, I would never eat Chipotle again.
Well, they are finding there's an outbreak, or not an outbreak, but they're finding
there were
E. coli.
like 6. They found 6 places with E. coli.
Yeah, I was going to go there yesterday because I was hungry, and I kind of decided not to just in case.
Because you kind of like yourself alive.
Yeah, but I wonder what it's in, the E. coli.
It's in Chipotle.
Yeah.
No, it could be in anything. It could be in lettuce. It could be in the meat. It could be in the bread. You just don't want to risk it.
Do you know what carmine is?
Carmine?
Yes, this is in... it's about insects, and when it comes to food...
is this the color thing?
Yes, it is color. A red color.
Yes.
It's a food coloring, and it comes from a type of beetle.
Yeah, isn't it on it's some candy, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, ice cream, Skittles, Good and Plenty, lemonade, and grapefruit juice.
Let me just cross these off my list.
So this is, good to know. We could keep going through more, or we could...
Well, I have one more.
Yeah. Okay.
You ever take a slug of soda or juice and feel a tingling sensation in your throat?
Yes.
Well, what it could be is sodium benzoate, which essentially is a mixture of food dyes, and it's linked to hyperactivity in children and all types of bad stuff. You can find it in soft drinks, carbonated beverages, fruit juices, jams, salad dressings, condiments, and pickles.
Well, there you go.
There you go. There's a million more weird things. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
The weirdest thing?
Yeah.
I
Meat-wise.
guess snake, maybe.
Did you eat snake?
Yeah. In China, I've eaten snake. I've eaten a lot of weird things.
I'm trying to think what the weirdest
I've never
thing.
eaten insects, though, and I don't want to. I was offered ant eggs in Mexico because they like them there. It's like a delicacy. I couldn't do it.
Right. Why not?
What's the weirdest thing you've eaten?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Monkey brain? No.
Have you?
No.
Have you eaten, what is it? What's the French dish that's cow brain?
Escargot? Oh, no. Sweetbreads?
Oh, maybe.
I've had sweetbreads. I don't even think that's that weird. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
There's certain things I just don't have any interest in eating.
I don't really have too much of an issue. It really depends. If something has a good enough texture, I'm okay with it. But if something's kind of slimy and everything, I kind of have, I could be negative about that.
I don't blame you.
Probably the grossest thing that I've ever eaten was my mother's food.
That is not. Come on.
She was an awful cook, Alex.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, she was one of the worst.
Oh. Well, now that you've whet my appetite, I think I'm gonna have some separated meat and shellacked candy.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pour a nice warm glass of red wine. Have some hot dogs with some chili in it. And and just call it a night.
The point is, I think the further you stay away from processed foods, the better, in my opinion.
We have an Asian market, and there's always such strange foods there.
Yeah. And
I'm always tempted to get some stuff, but I always chicken out.
I used to eat chicken feet, gizzard, pig intestine, but now that I don't eat much meat, I'm off a lot of those things, so...
That's all really good stuff, though. It is.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure you've had stuff like that. They eat intestine, though, not only in Asian countries. I think actually in like Spain, they eat lots of different internal parts of the body.
Now, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Going to my dad's.
You guys going to have like a tofurkey or something?
No. My dad, he and his wife are not vegetarians.
Good.
I make. I'll eat turkey.
I know it's Thanksgiving.
I don't eat it. I don't like to eat that kind of stuff every day, but I'll have it once in a while.
Well, you know what? Turkey gets to you kind of quickly. It's like pancakes. You can have a couple bites and you kind of don't want it anymore.
It's filling,
but you really want it. Like you can crave it.
I know.
Now.
Are you making a turkey?
Yeah, I'm making a pretty big turkey, but it's a fresh turkey. But my wife's friend is getting as fresh as can be today. She's going to this place in Queens, and just like when you're a kid and you go to the seafood restaurant and you pick out your lobster, she's picking out her turkey, and they're gonna kill it, pluck it, and hand it to her in a bag warm.
When is she doing it?
She's done it already. I mean, earlier today.
So you already have the turkey?
Well, we don't. I ordered ours.
Well, when is it delivered? Tomorrow?
No, day after. Wednesday, I'll pick it up.
So, and when do you think they killed it?
Probably in about 10 minutes. No, I don't.
I'm just wondering how fresh it is.
I think it's pretty fresh.
Yeah, like within a few days.
But she gets it within like 25 minutes, probably.
Do they freeze it as soon as they kill it?
She goes and she puts in a brine.
Yeah.
And what you do with the brine is you refrigerate that.
Okay.
So,
that's fresh.
Oh, it's fresh.
I used to. Well, we know that a lot of traditional, authentic Asian places, Vietnamese, Chinese, they, especially when you're in those countries, they kill the chicken or duck right before they make it, or fish, and
can't get more fresh.
There's even one in New York. I'm not going to name the restaurant, but I know for a fact that they kill the chickens on their premises in the basement because you can hear them down there. I don't know. It's
once
sad.
in a while one gets away and it runs into the restaurant.
I don't know. All right, but hey, so
that's an awful picture.
Let's all enjoy our Thanksgivings.
Have a nice family dinner, Alex. And,
and to our audience, by the time you get this, it will be closer to Christmas.
And if you have to drink and drive, drink Pepsi.
Okay.
All right, take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Alone in my cave, alone in my cave, Bobby's in the barber shop, Barbara's at the chicken shack. I'm cave.